What's up, everybody? And we're here again. We're going to be doing an update on the whole Ukraine-Russia situation. It's getting worse and worse every day, unfortunately. I hope I didn't have to say that, but it is. Just for reference, this is recording now Sunday the 27th at 3:20 Eastern Standard Time in the US, okay? I am in the United States, so I just wanted to give that reference out there so you know when I'm getting these updates and what's going on, all right? I've got another source. People left some comments in my last video about a live map, so we've got that up as well. We're going to go over that. We're also going to go over some of the regular headlines that are popping up. Some people have been saying that BBC that I've been getting my news is not really, like, super accurate, but from what I've seen from kind of looking at different news outlets, and guys, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, right? From what I've seen, that website sums up a lot of what I've read already in a nice little place just for me to read it out for you guys. So that's the reason I use that. Before we get started though, question of the day says, well, this is by Ryan Bro Guy. He says, question, what will you do if combat comes here? Well, when you say comes here, I'm going to presume you mean the United States, because that's where I am, to which I have the school bus. I would just drive off into the middle of nowhere with my family and be off grid for a while. That's probably what I'm going to do. It's actually it's a big interest I have, living off grid sustainably, away from society, away from anything that could endanger my family, put my family in danger. It's something I'm really passionate about, and that's why we've got this bus. That's why we can live off grid, and that's why I want to buy land and stuff. If you guys want to follow that journey, let me know in the comments, and we can certainly talk about living off grid. I don't think I'd ever build like a bomb shelter, but I'm definitely kind of, in that realm of survival is what I want to do, especially after seeing the way the world's going. Now, if you do mean the UK, because I am British, if you do mean what will happen if combat comes here is in the UK, well, my family's there. Obviously, I'd be very worried. I'd be trying to keep updated with them all the time, and I'd just try and get them to me as soon as possible, to the States as soon as possible. That's what I would try and do with my family. But at the same time, I can't get all my family over. Like, financially, it wouldn't work, right? So, I don't know. Just hope for the best, I think. I've got to protect my family, right? I've got to protect my two kids. Back when I was young, my priority was protecting my country. I was in the Royal Marines. Now, I'm a dad. My priority is protecting my family, and I'm sure a lot of parents out there can totally agree with me. If you do want your question answered, leave it in the comment section down below, starting with question, and then I can search them all and pick out some questions for the next video, guys, okay? So definitely go and crack on with that. So let's pull this up. Let's get this summary. We'll read the summary. Again, this is as of 3:21 Eastern Time on the 27th, Sunday the 27th. There's a few things I've heard. The biggest one, before we get into this, the biggest one I've heard is that Putin has put basically like a special kind of alertness. I don't really know what the terminology is for it, but he's kind of put some sort of warning ahead with nuclear threats. He's basically threatening with nuclear weapons at this point. And let me just look over the summary. Okay, it does mention that, so we'll talk about that soon. Let's go through the whole summary, and then we're going to go over to this live map right here, which is good, but it's a lot of ads on it. It's a good source, but there is a lot of ads. So we'll look at this live map after we've gone through this summary, guys, okay? And I'll give you my thoughts as someone who's been in the military and who, is European, has some sort of stake in the game, like my family are over there. But at the same time, I'm just passionate about people who are good, which are the Ukrainians who are trying to get out of there and trying to live their lives, right? So, with that being said, summary. The EU is taking unprecedented steps. We're off to a good start, guys. My dyslexia. The unprecedented steps of sending arms to Ukraine following Russia's invasion. Okay, yeah, we kind of already knew that. It is also closing its airspace to Russian aircraft and banning Russian state media outlets. We already know that. Member states will also take Ukrainian refugees, bypassing the usual asylum application process. This is fantastic. I touched this on the last video. The big priority for a lot of these countries surrounding now, especially with NATO there, is processing all of these refugees, right? These people are going to be coming in just looking for a place to stay until it cools over, and then possibly being able to go back to their own country. Some of them won't be able to, so there needs to be shelter, food, water, all these things that people need to survive and thrive. They need that in these other countries. So hopefully they're getting that. Hopefully they're kind of prioritizing that right now before it gets even worse. Here we go. Vladimir Putin moves Russia's nuclear deterrent to special alert in response to NATO's aggression. They say NATO's aggression. I get it. He's worried. he's backed into a corner, right? We know that Russia aren't doing as well as they thought they were going to do. So they're backed into a corner now, and what have they got to lose? Their economy's crashing. They've got all these sanctions. They've got nothing else to lose apart from, you know what? Fudge you. I'm just going to nuke it. So we're kind of worried here, aren't we? We're worried here. What are they going to do? The chess game, right? It's a chess game right now. I said this in the first update, Ukraine-Russia update. I said the next month is going to be the big decider on the rest of this. And I think it is. War isn't the same as it used to be. You don't send troops in as much as you did. There's a lot of from-distance fighting. And unfortunately, a lot of that means nukes. And again, if Russia get backed into a corner as much as they are doing, they're probably going to use them. So we need to be very aware of where they can hit. All of Europe, some parts of the US. We need to be very careful, and it is very worrying. It is very worrying. Analysts say it is an attempt to undermine NATO and does not mean he intends to use the weapons. Right, it could be just an empty threat. But let's look at the history of Putin and his threats. Because although he does make a lot of threats, he does also act on them. He's invading Ukraine and they're now at war. It could be just trying to threat. It could be just, holding his cards close to his chest. But it could also be ready to arm. And if that's the case, Europe, the whole of Europe needs to be prepared. They really do. If you're in Europe, right? If I was living in the UK right now, right? I'd be having an exit strategy. I would be having an exit strategy for my family, making sure they're safe, looking at locations where they can be if anything kicks off, and where we can kind of bunker down for a bit. That's what I would be doing 100%. That's the type of person I am. I mean, at the end of the day, the world's going to shit anyway. That's why me and my wife decided, you know what? We're going to build a school bus and travel. If there's forest fires, if there's nukes, if there's war, if there's earthquakes, if there's famine, if there's disease, we can pick up our bus and do one. And that's kind of, a good priority of ours. So yeah, if I was living in Europe right now, I'd be thinking about that type of thing. I really would. I mean, this might just be scaring you. It might be nothing. It might blow over, right? But at the end of the day, he's threatening with nukes. The guy's threatening with nukes. Ukrainian troops are in control of Kharkiv. I apologize if I get that wrong. Governor says after Russia attack. Brilliant. Ukraine troops are doing fantastic. I'm really impressed with their defensive skills, to be honest with you. Ukraine claims 4,300 Russians have died in the whole invasion. This has not been verified. We know that the numbers. Remember the first update I did where it was like 50 odd? Now it's in its thousands. It wouldn't surprise me if it goes to tens of thousands at some point in the next few days. Or even millions if he starts using nukes. We knew the number was going to climb. We've seen videos of Russian soldiers that are like, we don't want to be here. Like, there's a lot of Russian soldiers, videos coming up, and they're like, guys, we don't want to be here. We didn't even know we were coming here. And here we are. We've seen that. They might just be bluffing, but at the same time, they might not be. They might just be lads like me and you who have just been called up, and it's a case of, I don't want to, why am I doing this? But that's the other option. They go to jail for the rest of their lives. Putin kills them. You know what I mean? So I've seen some people switch to Ukraine and fight for Ukraine, which is pretty impressive. But it's also, it's a risk, especially if you've got family in Russia. It's a big risk. Russian and Ukrainian officials are gathering at a site near the border of Belarus for talks, reports say. That could go two ways. That could go horribly wrong, or it could be the first step in de-escalation, which would be very nice, but we'll see. Germany pledges a massive hike in defense spending in a major change in policy. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all. So let's look at some of these. We've got... Oh, geez, look at that. Basements of the buildings. EU agrees to take Ukrainian refugees for 3 years. Woo! That's a lot. That is a lot. Turkey signals it could block access to the Black Sea. There you go. Europe facing humanitarian crisis of historical proportions. Look at these headlines. It's jarring, isn't it? Kiev totally surrounded. Mayor says blocking escape routes. We'll bring back this one when we go. I just want to look at a few more headlines and then we'll go over to that map, okay? What's happening on the ground? An update on what we know about battles across Ukraine now. There has been more air attacks on Ukraine. Officials say Russian ballistic missiles have been launched from sites in neighboring Belarus. But I swear Belarus are going to get their ass handed to them soon as well. For the first time since Russia invaded, air raid warnings were heard in the eastern city of Dnipro. I apologize if I get any of the names wrong, guys. I do. Sirens have also been sounding in the capital of Kiev. Wow, I never thought I'd say that. And after 4 days of downplaying its losses, Russia has now admitted its soldiers have been killed in the fighting, but it refused to give any numbers. Of course it does. An official would only say that figures was lower than that of, as he put it, exterminated nationalists. Interesting. US condemns Putin's nuclear alert. I mean, cool. We condemn it. What the fuck's that gonna do? You know what I mean? What's that gonna do? Condemning it. Nothing. A price BP has little choice to pay. More kind of economic consequences. Sweden is to send arms to Ukraine. I'd be very careful, Sweden. You're probably gonna need them very soon. All right. You get the gist of it. Things are not getting any better. They're getting worse. Let's pull up this map right here. So obviously down here in Crimea, they've been taking out a lot here. Taking a lot there, to be honest with you. They've been obviously... A lot of these markers here are just like what people have posted, videos, all this different stuff. Oh, get over. Freaking ad, this, I don't know if I like this side. The map's good, but the ads are frustrating, to say the least. We've got more tanks going on here. Yeah, so from my perspective, right, let's zoom out a bit. You can barely see the border of Ukraine because of the way this map's designed. Is there any way to change it? What does this do? No, I guess there isn't really, is there? I didn't mean to do that. Cancel. Okay, so you can barely see the outskirts here, but what you can see is, look at Belarus up here. They've definitely been launching some rockets, which is not good, and they've been doing all sorts of different things here. Peace talks today as Russia requests with no primary conditions. Yep. So you can see that there's stuff happening up here. And then over here, we're also getting updates over here. So what's this? Oh, so this is just... Okay, so it's just random updates to do with the war. Okay. It's a good map. It's good to see... You know, if I was going to take anything from this map, it would be just the locations where Russia have taken. All these other news sources, you're probably going to get these elsewhere. Guys, okay? Again, more Germans. I wonder what they're saying in England. Let's have a look. BP said on Sunday that it is decided to exit its 19.75 stake in Russian oil giant Rosneft after Russian invasion of Ukraine. So it is just headlines that. If you do look at these ones over here, it's sometimes more footage than anything. Missiles to target areas. So it is a good map. But for me, the big thing is seeing these... yeah, 4003. So where are these... What are these sources that are getting... Twitter? I mean, come on. Is it... Who's tweeting it? These ads. Oh my god. I apologize, guys. Some of them are not very suitable. Alright, let's look at Kiev. Look at this. This has not really changed since I'd give the last update the other day. Yesterday. Not changed that much. Looks like we've got something going on down here. It doesn't give us a key to this, does it? So what's the difference between... I wish it would give us a key. Keys. Here we go. Russian militants in Belarus. So this is obviously... The Reds captured, but it doesn't say what the lines are. I'm guessing it's disputed right now. Doesn't surprise me that they're somewhere here. This doesn't surprise me. Let me go into Ukraine right here. It doesn't surprise me that they're trying to get this next airfield. Where is it? Right here. Look at this. They're already disputing this right now, this airfield. So they are trying to block every way out, which goes again against what Putin said about not wanting to hurt civilians, just wanting to take the country. It goes completely against it. Look, another airspace here, already in combat here. Look at that. So they're trying to cut off all the way out, all the ways out. That's what they're trying to do. Any other? So we got a airspace here that's not being contended. There's a little bit of fighting by the looks of it in that city there. But it looks for the most part like that's fine, which is nice. There's another one up here in the northwest of the map here, northeast of the map here. There's a couple of airports around, and you can see again, look at that, fighting around there a little bit. This one seems okay, but I mean, you've got to the south, to the northwest, and to the southeast, like, and to the east here. There's fighting all around it. You can tell what they're trying to do here, guys. They're trying to take all of the airports. Ah, jeez. They're really trying to back them in, aren't they? Obviously, we've got some Russian convoy filmed right here. Missiles target area of railway station. So the best thing to do with this map, guys, if you are trying to keep updated with it, just like me, is to just, you know, refresh it every 6 hours or so, see what's going on, see where the red markers have changed, and you can probably start to see it. This is the first time I've looked at it. You probably start to see a bit of a pattern going on where you'll notice, like, instead of it just kind of taking over like you would think it would in a movie, there'll be like certain like spurs from it, and then they'll close it in and then take that area. Spurs, close it in, take that area. It's kind of like flanking. That's what they're doing there, and closing people in. So just be aware of that. Keep an eye on it. I think it's going to get worse before it gets any better, guys. And if these talks don't go well on Monday, tomorrow, then hopefully I don't do a bad update in the next couple of days, guys, all right? But I'm going to end it there. What more can I say apart from the big headline that the nukes are on standby? What more can I say, guys? It's heartbreaking and it's scary. It's really scary. So if you're in Europe, my point would be, especially if you're in a major city, start contacting family members who are outside of major cities. If you live in London or anything like that, contact family members outside of the cities and just be like, hey, I know this sounds a bit crazy, but if it kicks off, we're coming to your place, or we're all going to certain place. Do you know what I mean? Like, and kind of have like a backup plan, a plan B, because not many people do that, and when shit hits the ground, everyone panics. Have a little bit of a plan. Okay, guys? I don't think nukes are going to go off, touch wood. But if they do, have a plan. I'm on the coast, on the East Coast right now. If anything starts going bad, we're already going to Texas tomorrow, so we're going inland. We're going inland, guys, and then we're going to be going north into the inlands of the States for a bit. So have a plan, guys. Okay, members, you've already scrolled, but I love you. I love you. It's been nice having updates from guys in the Discord as well. What else? Merch down below, all that good stuff. I can't really talk about all that stuff right now. Priority. People are asking about video games, and when am I going to be playing video games again? I'll play them soon. This is priority right now. Seeing what's going on in the world, in Europe, and all that good stuff is the priority. There'll be a video tomorrow about China and about their potential invasion. And check that out. And until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.